The Direct sat down with Yellowjackets star Sophie Nelisse to talk all about Season 3, where the actress revealed what they really eat when they're cannibalizing their friends. Nelisse plays the young version of Shauna as she is stuck in the forest alongside all the other girls from her high school soccer team. Season 1 and Season 2 really stacked on the trauma for poor Shauna, which included accidentally being responsible for freezing her best friend to death, who the group later ate to survive, and losing her baby boy due to him being stillborn. Needless to say, Shauna is not in a great place when Season 3 picks up. Sophie Nelisse teases Shauna's thirst for power in the wilderness. She definitely is very thirsty to gain that title of leadership. The Direct. The trailer, just watching it back, it indicates that Shauna has intentions of taking leadership from Natalie. We don't get to see too much of that in the early episodes of the season. But I was just wondering, can you from that alone, from the trailer, and just vaguely teasing, can you explain where she is on that and her stance and how that might evolve throughout the season? Sophie Nelisse, yeah, I definitely think she feels like she's been robbed of that title, given everything that she's been through in the second season. And I think she feels that she's the one who's had to sacrifice the most. And so I'd also think that she's at a point where making people feel small and beneath her makes her feel better about herself. And so she definitely is very thirsty to gain that title of leadership. But I'd also think that she's very smart, and she knows how to play her cards, and she knows that she somewhat needs people in her corner, and she's not in a position right now where she can take a stance against Natalie. And so I think she'll in a very subliminal way, see if she can slightly start scaring and having her corner in order to turn against Natalie. And that will definitely progress as the season goes on. The Direct. Given where Shauna is mentally right now in the forest, do you think it bothers her any more that you know she ate or is eating human flesh, or is she pretty preoccupied with everything else that is haunting her? Sophie Nelisse. I think they're somewhat desensitized at this point. It's really crazy how the human mind adapts to their circumstances. Even as actors, it's really weird. When we were first doing cannibalism scenes, we were all freaked out and we're like, this is so weird. It feels like we shouldn't be doing this. And now they're just bringing it, and they're like, okay, here's your little pieces of fake tofu or fake tempeh, and there you go. Obviously, it's never, enjoyable. And when you're really in the scene, it's a bit strange. And I think we all tend to, disassociate. But even us, we're we walk in on set, and there's dead corpses and chopped off heads, and we're just oh, fun. We're more mesmerized by it than freaked out. And that's just how we adapt to shooting the show as actors. And I think it's the same with their time in the wilderness. They have become so accustomed to it all. The Direct, I gonna ask what, you answered, it was tofu, you said, but I was gonna ask, what is it that you guys are actually eating when they go, here's your human flesh? Sophie Nelisse, it's a mix. When we did Jackie's corpse, it was like her skin was made out of rice paper roll, and then inside the flesh was jackfruit, which we ironically called Jackie fruit. And then for the pieces of meat now, I think it's tempeh or Beyond Meat, and a bunch of things like that. I remember last season, Travis having to eat Javi's heart that was made out of gelatin. So it's almost like a gummy bear consistency, taste-ish. So it's actually not as disgusting as it looks. But I think our minds are playing tricks on us, and it feels way more gross. We all have spit buckets on the side as soon as they call cut.